Right, so welcome, Cody.
Thanks, Mark. I just want to maybe just say real briefly first that you said that there's a hunger in the startup community for free pitches. I think there's a hunger in the community for good venues, and so I think this is a really outstanding crowd. The pitches are really excellent, and there's real people here, investors, responsive, and I've paid good money for terrible venues, and so I just want to let you know that I think the reason why it's my second time back. I think the reason why people keep coming is because of how great your event is. So. With that being said, I won't take up anybody's time there. I will now pitch. So, okay. So why have over 300 drugs undergone lengthy clinical trials, but ultimately failed as cures for Alzheimer's disease and related dementia? It's because technology didn't exist to put up the red flag that said, nope, this definitely doesn't work, or, oh, this works. Hi, I'm Dr. Cody Guslu, and I'm a Harvard-trained physicist passionate about finding a cure to aging and related diseases. You see, adequate diagnostics are a necessary but not sufficient condition to finding a cure. Over the past 10 years, I've worked tirelessly to invent and develop a new imaging technology that solves this problem elegantly and is incredibly effective. Our revolutionary approach to MRI delivers a safer and 10 times better scan. We use that to map the brain health and function. Our quantum physics-based software tools are compatible with existing scanners and hardware. We're now running a pivotal clinical study at Brigham and Women's Hospital in Boston for the early detection and enhanced characterization of dementia. We're raising $4.5 million with $2 million more to go. Some of this raise has been non-dilutive, and we've raised $915,000 from the National Institute on Aging and $436,000 from the National Institute of Mental Health this year. The equity-based portion fundraise is led by the Alzheimer's Drug Discovery Foundation, who just invested $725,000. I invite you to join us on our mission to shine the light on brain disease. We can help pharma accelerate drug development and empower clinicians with the tools they need to serve patients. Oh, and disrupt a $20 billion US market. Thank you.
Cool. By the way, we're having a life science event this Saturday for any of you who are just arriving and missed that announcement earlier. And you're welcome to sign up. It's at the venturestarters.com website. Is there any comments or questions for Cody?
I have one. Cody, you might turn around, mirror your background so that the lettering and everything comes out looking forward when we see it.
Oh,
Well,
good point.
I thought I did, but okay, yeah, thank you. I actually did see that as a problem earlier and I mirrored it, and on my screen, that's weird. Thank you though.
It doesn't always work, Cody. I've noticed that there's some glitch in the system. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Just thought I'd tell you.
It's interesting.
What it does is it shows you a mirror image on your screen, but it gives it the right way around for everyone else. So if you've mirrored it and it looks right on your screen, it'll be mirrored to everybody else.
That's funny. Yeah, I actually mirrored it in Adobe Illustrator. I put that together right before this pitch. So yeah, I think it must have been right the first time. Thank you.
Anybody have any questions about the startup? Just out of curiosity, it sounded pretty interesting, I have to say. If not, we'll move on, but I look forward to you coming on Saturday, where I have a feeling we'll have a lot more interesting questions, since that's life science oriented, and that was really cool. All right.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Robert, you're up next.
Hello, Mark. Hello, everybody. My name is Robert Mcneese. I'm the founder of Lucere Enterprises, Lucere Data, and Lucere Technologies. Lucere and I'm the founder, the inventor of a multidimensional signal and the visionarian behind multidimensional principles. It's disruptive technology, the multidimensional signal. It's high tech, it's computers. And basically what we've done and what we're developing over the long term is, right now, all computers are run by a mathematical formula into the power of X. And that's since the beginning of the telegraph system. N is a binary value of 2, and X is some exponent for these people who know computers. 3 is 8, 4 is 16, 5 is 32, and now we're up to 6 64-bit. What a multidimensional signal is X to the power of N to the power of XYZ or ZR theta. So we've broken through that mathematical barrier that's holding everything back. One of our first technologies that we want to introduce to the market is something we refer to as zero seek time technology. There are three components to a computer system. You've got the central processing unit, the CPU, you've got the software that it runs on, and you've got the storage. Out of these three components, storage is the biggest bottleneck of the system, and specifically seek time. Every time a system is called for data, which is constantly, the CPU and the software has to go out and look for that data. This data, it takes a long time, and central processing units and computer time, it takes a very long time. The storage market right now is about $40 to $45 billion, and seek time is about $1 billion problem. They're just throwing money at it to try to get it down. DRAM is the fastest memory there is out there. We have eliminated seek time, so we call that zero seek time technology, ZST. Lucere is looking to raise $7.5 million to bring ZST to market. And there's any questions I'd like to address, thank you. And thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Robert. Does anybody have any questions?
I do. It's Lonnie. I've decided it's time for me to participate in feeding back.
Please do. We love you, Lonnie. Go ahead.
So I'm an engineer by education. I tend to be way too tech. And a lot of time, I actually had one investor fall asleep while I was pitching to him. And so my feedback is to try to spend more time talking about what your business can do, and maybe a little bit less time on the math and that kind of detail. Because I tend to do what you do. That's my inclination, and I fight it all the time. That would be my feedback.
I appreciate that, Lonnie. And, I start with somewhere and got to go with it. But yes, that is the issue right there. How do you explain disruptive technology in 2 minutes or less? It's like trying to explain world peace in 15 minutes. I mean, you got to start somewhere and you go with it. So
I tell you what, you can get in touch with me. I put my info in the chat. If you want, I can just tell you how I try to rethink the way and I'm not a great presenter, but I've been doing it for a long time.
I know how you feel.
Up to you.
I know how you feel. Thank you.
Yeah, and Robert, you've improved immensely since your first pitch, and if you may recall. And anyways, kudos to you.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you,
All
everybody.
right. Well,
I've
let's
got a
move.
question.
Oh, go for it. Yep.
I was just curious, you're looking for 7.5 million, is that right? Have
That is
you
correct.
raised anything already beforehand?
Yes, and by the way, that $7.5 million, we're looking for two things. One is the executive team to bring this to market, as well as the $7.5 million. That covers a lot of that executive team. So we're looking for the executive team and the money. And I'm sorry, Blake, could you repeat the main point of your question was?
Sure, yeah. How much have you raised and where have you gotten money from?
It's been internal, mostly out of my own pocket, which was I was one of those computer consultants that got paid a lot of money at one time in my life in the previous portion of it. And I was able to bootstrap it on my own, but at this point, not anymore. So it's been mostly internal and mostly with friends.
I'd like to learn more about what you're doing. I put my LinkedIn in the chat already. Feel free to connect with me over there and we'll take a look at what you've got. I'd like to see a deck if you don't mind.
Oh, I've got it, and a lot more to that too, by the way. Thank you, Blake. I will follow up with you.
Sounds good.
Mark,
Anybody else?
can I ask a question? This is Nick.
Yes. Oh, hey, Nick. So glad to see you.
Good to see you, Mark. Does your technology require completely new hardware, or you will be able to use off-the-shelf parts to build a new computer?
Nick, a great question. All of our components is off-the-shelf technology. We're completely off-the-shelf technology. All of it's out there. We're just kind of rearranging some things and doing some things with some other technology that you don't normally think about in computers.
Thank you. Right.
And it's by the way, it's also mature technology.
And the 7.5 million is not going to be used to develop new hardware. It's going to be for marketing and you're building your team.
Oh, no, it's for the executive team, the payment of the executive team, and also to bring a marketable prototype to market, to build a machine.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? We're going to move on. Robert, great. I think this was your best presentation so far. Fantastic. Let's move on to Woody.
All right, thank you. I'm going to start with a little backstory, and this goes way back to when the first iPhone came out, and my 3-year-old son was like a moth to the flame. And I thought, if my young child was going to be looking at this phone, then I wanted the content to be something I felt great about as a parent. So we made the first library of narrated storybooks. We produced over 200 apps, 14 million downloads, and then got acquired. And my son went on to become one of the most advanced readers in his school. My name's Woody Sears, and I'm excited to tell you about my latest storytelling venture. This new company started with a celebrity meeting, a meeting with none other than Kevin Costner, actor, director, storyteller extraordinaire. When we sat down, I asked him to imagine driving the roads of America and hearing the stories of the towns and the cities as he passed through. Stories of victory and defeat, shame and inspiration, the real history of all these unique places. Imagine having all these stories play at the perfect time based on your GPS location, almost like a tour guide based on everything you're passing through. Inside our app, Autio, we tell stories about history, culture, natural wonders, and more that entertain people as they travel. We have over 9,000 pieces of content spread across the US, all told by professional narrators and world-class storytellers like Kevin Costner, and we have other amazing voices as well. Phil Jackson sharing stories of the highways and destinations in Montana, Georgiana Sanchez, Shumash Elder telling a story of her people coming from the Channel Islands to the Central Coast, John Lithgow talking about places important to his career and to his life. We monetize through annual subscription, and we found that there's not only strong demand for great audio products, but people are willing to pay to subscribe to these, and we're converting over 5% of our accounts into paid memberships. We've been featured as Apple's App of the Day, and this summer we won the Webby Award for the best travel app. We've raised $3.5 million to date, and we're now working to evolve our product into a platform for content creators. As you're all aware, every place has a story, and now with Autio, every story has a place. Thank you.
That's a great pitch, I have to say. Really well done. Tell us about how much money you've already raised and how much money you're raising.
Yeah, we've raised $3.5 million so far. And this current round, we're raising $4 million. We have more than 50% of that committed, and it's being led by iHeartMedia, the largest live radio broadcast and podcast publisher in the US.
Fantastic. Anybody have any questions?
I do. I was actually involved in a project called Here Earth or something. I forgot the name now. It goes back about 5 years. And it was basically what you're talking about, only maybe not as sophisticated with as much variety. Here Planet, that's what it was called. And it didn't work very well, but that was mostly because in those days, GPS wasn't working very well and it was difficult. I would love to talk with you more. I work with all the large mobile phone companies and their investment groups and so forth, and also with the entertainment companies as well. And I think those are the kinds of people you need. You need a good strategic corporate sponsor here would be helpful for you, investor, I mean. So I wish you luck with the project. I think it's a great project, and I think finally somebody got this right.
Fantastic. Tell me who that was speaking, just because I don't have speakers.
It's Jack Torvin.
All right, great. I will follow up.
I sent you a chat message. You'll see.
Perfect.
Woody, if you'll put your information, maybe you already did in the chat, then everybody will know how to reach you. Anybody else have a comment or a question for Woody?
Yeah, I have one. Good work, by the way. I like your pitch. My question is, so you're raising 4 mil, you have 50% committed. So your post-money valuation, what are you looking at?
$20 million pre-money.
So 24.
post.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Good work. Thank you.
Anybody else? Woody, that was really great. Hopefully we'll see you again. Thank you so much. We're going to move on to somebody whose name I will for sure mispronounce. So Jayanthi, I'm so sorry. Please tell us what your name really is.
No problem. Yeah, my name is Jayanthi Narasimhan. It's hard to pronounce. You can call me Jay. Yeah, I'm a founder and CEO of WatchRx, a Boston-based company. A few years ago, my mom fell sick and she had to take close to 10 plus medications a day. She always forgot her medication, ended up in clinics. And I live here in Boston and she in India. So I used to call her every day to remind her to take her medications. Obviously, that's a big problem as I'm working meetings and schedules and she in India and the time zone differences. So I wanted to come up with something and that's how WatchRx was born. I have a pretty solid telecom background. All the AT&Ts and Verizons have done plenty of products for them and deployed worldwide. So I have a good experience of connecting devices. So that's she loves watches. That's why WatchRx. So basically, ours is a smartwatch-based solution where the watch reminds the seniors with medication name, image, and dosage, and also voice instructions that can be recorded in their grandkids' voice. And we also have a GPS tracking. We have a built-in phone on the watch as well as camera, so we can have voice video calls. We can have reminders, text messages. You can do texting without typing and voice-activated solutions. So medication non-adherence is a major problem, $290 billion problem, with 26% of seniors getting admitted to hospitals purely because of medication non-adherence, wrong medication, wrong dosage, wrong time. They get confused all the time and they forget. So this was the problem that went out to solve, and we've had a number of trials, and they have shown that the medication adherence really improves with our repeated reminders. So most of the seniors don't know how to use the smartphones, even though they don't even know how to look at the notifications that come up as reminders. So we came up with a simple dedicated application so that will pop up as the medication reminders every time that they have to take the medication. So we had a number of tractions, number of awards, including Boston Scientific, Google, and various others over here in Boston and New Jersey, New York. So we have raised 500K and we have completed our product development. We have started deploying. We have a few customers. Our AI-enabled platform basically helps the physicians and the care coordinators to monitor the patients. We also offer vitals collection like a BP and glucometer, and our watch acts as a Bluetooth hub. And we have an app for the caregivers like myself, where we get notifications on emergency alerts, and we provide smart alerts for the nurses and caregivers to take care of the patients. So currently we are raising about $2 million to scale up and grow. Already about a few contracts that are in place. So, and we are working with VA currently to get it approved through VA systems. So thank you.
Very impressive. I like your solution. Please come to our event Saturday if you can, because we'll have a little more focus on the life science community. It's a specific event for life sciences. You can find it at venturestarters.com. More information. Does anybody have any questions?
Yeah, Jayanthi, I've actually seen quite a number of trials of devices like yours. We do a lot of work in wearables We work in India with Reliance, for example, telecom, and so on and so forth. Sounds to me like what you've done is you've solved the problem that a lot of the people I've talked to previously about these types of things have not been able to do. And I would love to learn more. So I've sent you a message. And if you would just send me your deck and we can discuss this further. But I do see fantastic opportunities for you. We can help you build your sales as well. So I've got some good connections that I think would love to be involved in this. So
Thank you, Jack. I think we got connected on LinkedIn last week. I'll send you the deck.
oh yeah, I'm a little backed up from last week.
Sure. Absolutely. I'll send you the deck. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Thanks, Jen.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Put your information in the chat so others can reach out to you if they're interested. We're going to move on. So next up is Zobi. How'd I do with the name?
You did it great.
Hey. I'll take the wins where I can get them.
No, thank you. And just, continuing the medical device section and science stuff. So my name is Ahmed Zobi. People just call me by my last name, Zobi. I'm the CEO of Center Health Technologies, where we're harnessing the power of your own fat tissue to aid in treating aging-related conditions such as knee osteoarthritis, facial fat loss, diabetic wound healing for diabetic foot ulcers, meniscus tears, and much more. The problem in the medical world today is we have multiple solutions for multiple types of ailments and conditions that affects the human population, but we don't have a true platform technology that can be used in a variety of manners. And that's where Center Health Technology has come in. We've developed a platform technology. You see it right here. This is the Center Fat Processing Unit. It's a Class 1 medical device, and our consumable is a FDA Class 2 medical device that we got cleared last year. And what we're doing is we're breaking down your own fat tissue to be used to treat wounds, to refill volume loss in the face, to replenish lost fat tissue in the knee pad, to prevent bone-on-bone interaction, and the eventual lead up to a total knee replacement. And we're able to do this outpatiently, cost effectively, and without the use of general anesthesia. So we're raising a minimum right now, $6 million round of funding to get us through our commercialization. And at the same time, we are using some of the funds to continue and complete our clinical trials. We've completed our diabetic foot ulcer study, where we've seen an average healing time of 4 weeks compared to 12-week standard of care. And we started our aesthetics clinical trial as well. So if you're interested, we'd be happy to talk to you guys about more.
Well, that's really interesting. I'd be interested. I don't know if you sent me a deck yet, but I'd be interested in seeing
I have it, but I will.
Yeah. Okay. Any questions? How far are you away from FDA approval?
We already have FDA clearance, so there is no approvals needed afterwards. Right now, we're just collecting clinical data to mainly use as marketing data.
Oh, fascinating. So you have revenues or not yet?
We have a little bit of revenue. We put that on pause a bit so that we can gather more clinical data. We're in talks with a couple of strategic acquirers that are looking for said clinical data. For example, on the diabetic foot ulcer side, we're going to be actually submitting for a breakthrough status with the FDA. Yeah. So right now, it's just about completing our studies. We have 3 clinical trials that are ongoing right now. We have the diabetic wound healing, facial fat grafting for aesthetics, and knee osteoarthritis.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
I'd just like to say one thing. I think your product is fantastic. It solves a lot of problems. I have an elderly mother who's not diabetic, but has got a lot of problems that would be solved by your machine. And we are very connected as a company to several people in the health field, including hospital systems, insurance companies, and so on and so forth. So I'll put a note in. If you could send me your deck, it would be great. And by email, and it will be my pleasure to talk to you further about this. And join us. I'm sure Mark will tell you this. Join us on Saturday.
Definitely will. Definitely will. And thank you.
Sciences one.
Sounds good. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. So thank you, Zobi. I love that name. Let's move on. Duncan, you're next.
Okay, thanks, Mark. So my name is Duncan Griffiths with Hyperion Analytical. We're developing 2 different technologies for scientific instruments. They're niche markets, and not very large compared to the scale of some of the pitches I've seen. But we have two successful technologies. One is under development, but it's supported by an SBIR grant from EPA, very eagerly anticipated for measuring nitrosamines in drinking water, for particularly recycled drinking water, which is becoming a bigger and bigger topic. But this is a trace organic contaminant, a carcinogen that they need better measurement technologies to measure. So we're developing that. We've got successful measurement results, but we're just going through the product development of that. The second technology is a nanoparticle size and concentration analyzer that has a lot of applications, not just in nanotech, but in emerging medical cell biology fields, exosomes and microvesicles that are used for drug delivery and some diagnostic applications as well. So we've got these two technologies. That second technology is just about ready to go out to some field trials or early sales demonstrations with some sympathetic customers. So we've got these technologies that are well on their way. And we just need, we're looking for some additional funding to get it right off the ground. We're looking for about 400,000, we figure, which will get us launched and get the initial sales rolling.
Okay, anybody have questions or comments?
Yeah, actually, I think I might be able to help out here. I'm not sure who you've already talked to. Have you heard of Techstars, Duncan?
No, I haven't.
I'd be happy to connect with you and learn a little bit more about what you're doing, because I have a few people in my network that would like to take a look at these kinds of things if it's like set up in a traditional startup form. Are you just looking to raise money to bring the products to market, or offering equity, spinning these things out? What's the plan?
We're raising money to get to market. Everything so far has been self-funded. So it's just myself and my partner who have founded the company and done everything on our own nickel so far, but we're looking for that to raise some initial investment to get going.
Okay. I'd like to learn more about what you're doing, and then I'll see what I can do for you. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn and we'll take it from there.
Sounds great. Thanks. I've got you noted down here. Will do.
Anybody else that comment? Thanks, Duncan, for coming back. We like hearing that. We're going to move on to Ashika, who might be from the furthest distance pitching tonight. I'm trying to remember. Are you one of the ones that's at 4 in the morning, or no? I can't recall.
No, I am here in Texas, so I'm not going to say 8:39 here.
Oh, I was confusing you with someone else. Well, let's hear from you next.
All right, so I'm Ashika Ward. All my info's in the chat as well as my ask, so please check that out as soon as you can. I'm the founder of Cali Beverages, a female-founded alcohol company that focuses on premium, ready-to-drink cocktails and hard sparkling seltzer water. I am a California girl through and through. You guys talk about time difference. And I wanted my brand to really encompass that California lifestyle. I have surrounded myself with seasoned vets in the alcohol sector. And with them, their knowledge and their help, they've really brought life into the products itself. And if you guys want to know more about that, please feel free to ask me. We have our deck ready to go to share, okay? We make a beverage that is for the consumers, what consumers want. We don't take this lightly. We've been putting things together, trying to make sure that when we go to market, it's something that people actually want, not just putting something together and trying to figure out how to sell. We're listening, we're seeing what's going on with everybody. For those that are in the alcohol space, can understand that I am a rarity. To have a Black Indian female in this space, it gives me an advantage in this sector. Because of it, I get to utilize diverse supplier programs and partnerships for women in major grocers and convenience store where 80% of the sales will occur anyways. Programs like the one I just mentioned will open the doors for us, but our refreshing packaging and then the liquid itself will get the sales going and repeat purchases and also build that velocity. Our initial brand line will be Tecali, as you can see behind me. It's a sparkling tequila infused with real fruit juice. at a 4% APV. Unlike other products in the market currently, when you open up the actual can and you smell the essence, you know what you're drinking. You know, sometimes you open something up and you're like, oh, was that really peach? No, you can smell the peach and you can taste the peach. We want to make sure you have that wow factor when you have something there. I touched earlier about being fortunate about having a team behind me that's very seasoned in the alcohol sector. Because of their deep relationships and friendships with distributors and with retailers and obviously consumers, it's opened up doors where I can get in front of people that I wasn't able to do if I was by myself trying to navigate through this sector. Because of that, it's bringing experience and connections that I wouldn't have normally. Just a quick note too, distributors, retailers, and consumers love the packaging. One of the common things we're hearing is refreshing. They think it's refreshing. It has that premium look and feel, and it's going to have that taste as well too, knowing from what we've done in the past. The immediate capital that we're looking for is to load distributors, to activate retailers that want to Cali, and then to have thousands of samples for consumers, and also obviously to sell the product. Just in one more side note, Cali has been picked every time in blind tasting. We've been going for popular brands like Cutwater, Cantina, Ranch Water, Hornitos, and just to name a few. This market is so much space still to grow, and we're just getting a taste of it. Any questions? Sorry.
Well, how much money did you mention how much money you're looking to raise?
In the notes is there, it's 1.1, so we're looking to raise.
And do you have a valuation based on the 1.1?
It's in the deck page. I don't know off the top of my head. I'm sorry. It's in the deck. And I can forward that over to you for that portion for sure.
Okay. Are you in revenue right now? It sounds like you have product, but are you, do you have sales?
No, not yet. Not yet. It's coming though. It's coming with the help. It's coming. Yes.
Okay. Very cool. Does anybody have any questions?
How much did you say you were looking for?
1.1.
1.1. And what do you plan to do with that mostly?
If you actually, I've always talked about the deck should speak volumes for what I'm doing, and the deck goes through all of that information there. After you read the deck and see what's going on with that information, I can answer any questions that you may have, but it will answer all questions you will have from there for sure.
Okay. Okay.
Just a quick question for me. You know, I've done research on a lot of companies on the hard seltzer side, and the competition is so tough. How are you dealing? Like, I guess, do you have, how do you reaching your customers today? Like your testing of the market and so on?
Like in terms of like, how am I able to maybe decipher through? Is that the question?
Yeah, like, you know, what kind of flavors you're gonna go through, or what kind of customers you're going through? Like, you know, can you elaborate a little bit on the on how you're thinking on that?
So when you're looking into the sparkling seltzer water and then also the RTDs, ready to drink cocktails, it's such a huge market to go with. I am marketing over to tequila base first, and the flavors we have are good with tequila. Like if you have like the pineapples, you have the oranges, you have the lemon lime, those type of flavoring that pairs well with tequila is what we're going for that. And yes, is the market tougher? But there's so much room to actually grow and gain market share as well too. So it's tough to get in, but once you're in and have a quality product and quality actual branding and quality branding, it won't be that difficult to get through there. Because some people, let me backtrack here. When you look at things like trying to think of one at the top of my head, of course, because I'm on the spot, not picking up, but like ranch water, just give that example. Great packaging, but when you put that in your mouth and taste it, you're like, what did I just do? But everyone else is drinking it, so you're still drinking it too, right? We're not trying to do that. We know if we just get it into the consumer's hands and they taste our product as well as the packaging, we're going to excel all the way through.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Hey, Ashika, this is David Culver with Propellant Ventures and Venture Shot. Yeah, so I'd be interested. Please send a deck. We've been hosting for about a decade the Food, Fun, and Fashion event, which part of the food is the beverage side of it, which generally has had alcohol for spirits, wine, liquor, beer, everything. So would love to find out more, and you can just my contact information is also in the chat, but I'm also going to put it in right now. So.
All right, perfect.
Oops, sorry, I just copied your
Copy
thing.
mine.
Yeah, because I've
have
copied yours, but I'll go get mine again in a second.
Perfect.
I have a question, Alicia. What kind of alcohol are you putting in the cans?
Blue agave to start off with for tequila.
Okay. It's really crazy. Back many, many years ago, I developed the first ice pop alcohol. They were actually frozen ice pops, just like a kid could eat. And we started with real alcohol. And then what I found was I was able to get wine alcohol and flavor it, where it could taste exactly like the tequila or the alcohol that you would be using. Our cost of production went from $1.55 to a pop down to 35 cents a pop. So, I mean, it may give you something to look at, is a different way to get the alcohol in there, maybe by flavoring it with a less expensive alcohol.
Also in the deck itself as well too, we've actually already done research and found ways to make it not as expensive as you think on there. Also, what you talked about with the wine-based portion to be cost-wise, so we have Tecali starting off. Vocali would be the vodka base, and then Cali Tropical later on as well. So it's definitely going to hit all sectors. I just know the way the numbers are looking currently, the tequila base is the way to go to start off with.
What's the cost of a can? What's your cost of producing a single can?
That is a very good question, and I need to get with my advisor to tell you back on that one. Oh, 12 cents. 12 cents. I'm sorry, 12 cents.
12 cents a can. That's the alcohol and everything.
12 cents a can is for the can itself. Sorry, I'm pulling back to what he's saying.
No, I'm talking about the whole contents of the can.
Hang on one second. It's on my deck. Oh, we're still working through that completely there. So I'll have an answer for that shortly here.
Okay, I'll try and send you a link. I can send you a whole lot of information that we did with the alcohol in a beverage. We did it in an ice pop. We sold 200,000, in the first month and a half to the cruise lines.
Okay.
So it was a fun project.
Ashika, this is Haroon. Have you heard of an organization called Pronghorn?
I have not.
Okay, that's I think it's, I will get in touch with you on LinkedIn. They're an organization that is, they're backed by Bacardi, I think, that is looking to provide funding to minority, particularly African-American owners and founders of alcohol beverage companies. I know some folks there, and I will get in touch with you.
I appreciate that.
Sure. Thank you.
Mark.
Yep.
Hey, this is Tim. David had asked the question earlier. I track and I've been in the alcohol space before myself. So, one of the things I always find interesting is when you hear people talk about there's a lot of brands out there. How do you compete with all these brands? The best way to think about it is like this. When it comes to CPG and consumer goods, there's no such thing as too much. Never has been, never will. Okay? Because if that was the case, think about it like this, right? All the water companies that have existed, and there's more that continue to come, and they all do well. Now, to give you a perspective, just today, the current reports show that all grocery and convenience is increasing the space for RTDs, over 60% growth since August. So they are literally pulling other goods off the shelf to put those products in. So that's one of the unique things about anybody who's on here who's been in CPG who knows there's no such thing as too many brands. It's who makes a better liquid, who makes a better package, and who delivers to the consumer. That's
Good
it.
point. Thank you for adding that wisdom. Any other comments?
I have a comment as well.
Go, Jay.
Yes, Ashika, you mentioned that in the tequila that you'll be using is a blue agave. Is there a particular brand that you're using, or is this something that you've a flavor profile that you've come up with yourself?
It's not a particular brand. And to go more in depth, because I know it's a time limit here and everything else, and I can definitely reach out to you directly to go in more in detail with that. But it is important, but it's not a particular brand. No, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Mark?
I think I think go Jack, quick. Because we have so
I'll
many
make it
people that
very
want to
quick.
present.
I just want to commend you on your branding. I've been working in marketing and branding almost my whole life. And I love, from what I can see in the background on the truck, it looks like you've really positioned this really, really well. And I've sent you a message. I'd like to know more about it. It is a very competitive market, no less. But I think you're going about it the right way. Using some branded alcohol or something in it means you need licensing and so forth in order to do that. And people, honestly, from what I've seen in the market that I've worked in, they don't really care. They don't really look at it. So kudos to you. Good branding, good marketing, good approach.
I appreciate it. And just one little thing, I am licensed already with TTB, by the way.
Okay.
So we are already rolling through that for sure.
Nice.
Super.
Okay, we're going to have to wrap this up, but I just want to say I wish in the future that half of all of our founders are women founders, and it's always great to see more. Thank you for attending. We're going to move on to Gene.
Good evening. That's going to be quite a tough act to follow with all the questions and drink and stuff. Mark, I've been on this now pretty much since your beginning. Great format. And real quick, Cody, your graphics are coming across properly. So what do? Free chord management. We do some mundane. We've got some fantastic things here, which is partly why I'm on. All the technology is just fascinating for us. We sell steel, right? I convert shipping containers into homes. Pretty mundane. It's a hot market right now. And we're here to pitch a particular project in Michigan. We're looking to purchase 3 mobile home parks that are basically empty pads and make those into a modernized park using our shipping container technology. We need about $8.5 million to purchase it. It's part of a larger 20 million investment we're making in that area. We're putting a 100,000 square foot factory, that kind of stuff. The factory will be able to produce about 4,000 homes a year. So each location we do is about 4,000. So $8.5 million gets us in the ball game. Market rents, we can come in 600 less than current market rents. It comes out to about 840,000 a month. We have a way of taking a standard lot and making it 2 or 3, because with shipping containers we can go vertical. So my elevator pitch is I convert shipping containers into houses. But I had a little discussion with my 6-year-old grandson the other day, and he came up a little better. He says, I'm a professional Lego installer. So that's my handle to everybody out there. So, a little boring, but we do solar, we use hemp, we use the shipping containers. There's such a need out there for affordable housing. The valuation that we're projecting for these 570 lots is going to come out about a little under $80 million. This is going to be a build to rent thing. We're going to handle the whole process. We want to take about a 3-year project here and showcase what we can do with a modern mobile home park. Thanks.
Any questions?
Go
ahead, Blake.
I've got another one this time. This is way outside of my personal wheelhouse, but I know someone who might be interested in it. So please feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn and I'll pass it along.
Very good. Very good. Along those lines, I'm in Upper Peninsula right now, and they're rushing to get everything done because snow can fly next week. We've got a high of 52 degrees tomorrow, and they cut the fiber line. So a lot of the folks I was supposed to get with last week, I'm days behind. We've had no cell phones, no internet, no cable. The post office shut down, so we just got everything turned back on up here. So we will follow back up with everybody. Thanks, Blake.
Anybody else? Okay.
I just want to say that the professional Lego installer line, you got to use that more. That is golden.
I agree. That's a good line. All right, Gene, good to have you back. Thank you. We're going to move on. Up next is John, who has a great technology.
Thanks, Mark. Thanks for having me again. My name's John Query. I'm with a company called Energy Cloud. Our product is called Hummingbird, and it's an air purification product, but much more comprehensive than that. It takes care of all the air in a building at the HVAC level. So last year, we were able to finish our trials at USC's Keck School of Medicine. We proved that we deactivate COVID-19 instantly in the air. And to put it in perspective, the competition based on their own claims, deactivate in 30 minutes to 60 minutes, which to me doesn't really matter. Everyone would be infected by that point. So the instant deactivation is important. We actually, I'm excited to say, just finished additional testing this year at USC Keck School of Medicine. We also proved that we deactivate variants. We deactivate Beta, Delta, Omicron. We went back to make the business case to business owners to say, if you're going to invest in air purification technology to protect your building, we're going to handle anything that comes this way. Obviously, the pandemic and pandemic mitigation is important, but our system's much more comprehensive than just viruses and bacteria as well. It deactivates and breaks down VOCs, which are volatile organic compounds, and all kinds of other pollutions that are in our environment that we don't realize. You know, why are we getting cancer? It's because we have 2 to 5 times more pollution indoors than outdoors, and we're spending 90% of our time indoors. So the system, you know, breaks down. It's very comprehensive. We're trying to make it commercially available and affordable for all building owners, and it has residential application as well. And it also includes, and our part of our patent includes many other, you know, unique features of being able to scan a QR code and see the air quality of the building before you ever go in it. Every building gets its own URL. So, you know, in the future, you'll be looking to see if you want to go to a restaurant, you can determine and see the actual air quality of that restaurant before you ever go there. And it also includes many other energy savings features that just other air purification products don't have anything anywhere close to that. And that's because we came out of the energy side. Our core products measure energy, water, and gas in a building. So we're doing a 8 million series A. We have 1 million that's committed for this round so far. So we're looking for a lead and or strategic investors to fill out that other 7 million. And I posted my information in the comments, and I'm on LinkedIn. So please connect with me. If you connect with me on LinkedIn, just please let me know that you were at Mark's event, and that's how you found me. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Anybody have any questions?
I just wanted to tell John, I got approval on something, and I will get back to you before the end of the week. I'm looking forward. I think it'll be what you're looking for. So
sounds great.
Okay. I'm sorry. I've been out of touch the last 3 days.
No problem. Okay. Happy to answer any other questions.
And I also want to say that your product is fantastic, and I think everybody should take a look at this because it's an amazing product.
I'm protecting my family with it. My parents, my sister just put 3 in her house. We all need it.
I like it too. And there's a new person that came into my world that I want to hook you up with, John. So separate out of this event, if you'll send me an email or remind me so I can make an introduction. All right, we're going to have to move on because we have a lot of people that still want to pitch tonight. So Herb, you're up next.
Thank you. I'm Herb Leviton with Secure Conference. And we write web conferencing software identical to what you're using tonight, Zoom. But none of the current providers sell software, source code. They want to continue making money on a software as a service solution, which is very profitable. I've been in this field for 15 years now, and this product is not new. It was designed around Flash. And there's a guy named Steve Jobs who didn't like Flash. So Flash no longer exists. But there's a newer product devised by Google called WebRTC, and we're just looking to upgrade the rendering part from Flash to WebRTC. Take us 3 to 6 months, and we have some existing accounts that want to buy it for $1 million a couple years ago, and I never got around to raising the money. And then COVID came along and changed the market, and Zoom came along. They weren't around. Zoom's doing about $4 billion a year. We sell this product in 2 versions, $250,000 and $1 million. $1 million is identical to Zoom's, it's much easier to use. And it's good for any company that has a lot of clients that want to privately label each client. It takes minutes to make a private label site. Zoom can make a private label site, but it's not easy and expensive. So we're trying to raise $3.5 million for 49% equity. We expect to make a big splash in this market. It's a global market. It's growing about 12 to 15% a year. And once we steal all the large accounts from not just Zoom, but WebEx and team meetings and any web conferencing product, those clients aren't coming back. We'll reduce a $3 million a year user to about maybe $3,000 a year. But you get increased security. No one's listening to your conversations. So you can find me at securecomp.com. There's videos there, and there's you have an investment page. If you email me, I'll send it to you.
Okay, it does sound interesting. The security aspect is probably one of your biggest selling points. Okay, anybody have any questions or thoughts?
Yeah, I do. I'd like to point out that there's already a product available on the internet. It's meet.jit.c. So that's Jitsi is a WebRTC based video call system. I encourage you to have a look into how that works and how secure it is to compare your product with for future pitches.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anybody else?
No, I just want to comment. I know Zoom is starting to do things like where you can share files and do things like that. And I know Microsoft have a good one too. So, you know, have you thought about that? Like, what kind of new additions or applications are you thinking to put on your product?
Well, we're doing something totally different. We're selling the source code. So if that's a feature you need, you could go out to Upwork or Fiverr and get a brilliant programmer. They're overseas, but they're brilliant. They're very low cost, and add any feature you have, and then it's yours alone. Anything that's really worthwhile that drives the market, of course, we'll add as we generate more sales. But that's a good idea.
Everybody can meet Herb in the chat. We're going to need to move on because we have still a lot of people that want to pitch tonight. So thank you very much. Stefan, you're up next.
Hello, I'm Stefan. I'm working on a project on the dating and social space. It's an idea I have had for like 6 years and talked about it with hundreds of people all over the world. Actually, many years ago, I took on a role at Tinder, Match.com because of this idea. So I'm very familiar with the space. Project name is Nefiti, and it is the next gen, ultra-modern, safe and inclusive global platform for social and dating. It's for people to meet in real life. And that platform is set up to allow multiple apps to be built on the same platform. So users can continue to find new ways to build, to meet other people and we can personalize to the experience that they want. The intention is to build a global platform to really allow people to connect and meet whatever their interest is for dating, friendship, activities of any type. And it's really, the goal is with realness, safety, and privacy. Those are some of the core values. It's a huge problem right now on a lot of those social and dating platforms where the realness and authenticities are very big issues right now. Netflix actually had a documentary not too long ago called The Tinder Swindler. I invite everybody to watch it. It's very interesting, and there have been some more documentaries on this particular topic. So that it is going to be a very big part of a platform, or to make people feel safe and meet with people, basically. That's basically what I am looking at doing right now. Also planning to use NFTs actually for a big portion of the platform to build a core user base, because the platform is going to feature real life events where people can meet in real life and many other things, because it's really about connecting people in real life. So, and I'm looking to raise $1.25 million as a convertible debt.
Okay, great. Does anybody have any questions? We're going to move on then and meet everybody in chat. And if you come a couple of times, they'll get to know you. Maybe people have more detailed questions to ask. Next up is Raul.
Hi, everyone. I'm Rahul. I'm the co-founder and CTO of Smarty Pants. At Smarty Pants, we make sensor-enabled cookware to help health and fitness-focused home cooks automate their nutrition tracking. Now, 54% of American adults cook at home, citing health as a primary reason. Yet there is no easy way to track nutrition for these healthy-focused home cooks. Existing solutions like Noom and Weight Watchers, they are restrictive and expensive, while apps like MyFitnessPal are erroneous and tedious. And both these solutions take the joy away from cooking, ignoring the fact that 87% of the home cooks, they actually enjoy the cooking process. And we exist to fix just this problem. We are a team of engineers, nutritionists, and data scientists from NASA and DARPA. And we are disrupting the $700 billion market with the traction to prove it. We have patents with over 20 independent claims. We acquired over 3,000 users in a closed beta in the past 2.5 years. And we have signed integration partnerships with Electrolux and distribution partnerships with QVC and Wayfair. We are raising a $2 million round to launch commercially. Our round is 50% committed, and we're actually taking meetings to close their mandate. That's about it. I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Questions, anybody? They're actually pans, right?
Yes.
Do you have one that you could actually lift up in front of the camera? Is there something unique about them? I'm just sort of curious why they're different than what's out there.
Well, I don't have in this room right now, but the pans have sensors in it. The sensors, these are sensors we invented ourselves. They automatically measure the weight, temperature, time, and stirring motions of the ingredients that goes into the pan. It automatically records your recipes as you cook, gives you customized step-by-step cooking instructions, and computes nutrition in real time.
How are you going to sell these commercially?
We do D2C. We sold over 3,000 units in our closed beta for $229 each. Right now we have over 16,000 users on the wait list, and we have distribution partnerships with QVC and Wayfair.
Really interesting. I think you did send me a deck. I haven't had a chance to open up your email yet, so I will to take a look. Anybody else have a thought or question?
Rahul, are these pans dishwasher safe?
Yes.
I mean, it's interesting to put sensors in, and also, I mean, if you can get some chefs that are really well known, or even just a celebrity, that likes to cook. I don't know. I have a lot of ideas for that. It's intriguing. I've never heard anybody do anything with pans. It seems more like a commodity business for, until you've presented your idea. Anyways, we're going to move on because, again, we have a lot of people that want to present tonight. Thank you for being here. Elshot, you're next.
It's just real quick. It's Scott Livingston in the card, so I can't. But look me up there, Scott Livingston. Send me your deck.
Yeah, definitely connect with Scott. He's an all-star. He's an all-star in my world. Anyways, you should get to know him. Okay, let's see. Up next, Elshot, you're next.
Hi, everyone. Do you know that people spend on average 192 hours annually searching for local services, facing a lack of transparency in pricing and quality? So acquiring local services is still a very time-consuming process and with a lot of hassle. So as a result, 83% of customers are ready to try new platforms to find a better user experience. That's why we are building DevHand. It's an AI-driven intelligent marketplace to simplify and automate local service delivery process with AI automation and conversational AI approach. DevHand works like a pocket-sized project manager, helping customers not just to match with service providers like other marketplaces do, like Thumbtack or Yelp, but support and collaborate on every step of the task completion. For example, create detailed scope of task and quote in minutes, and then explain it to service providers so you don't have to. Or provide intelligent guidance to make sure everything is done right, on time, and avoid unnecessary upsell. Local services market is huge, but we launched our MVP focusing on home remodeling and repairs verticals. We will launch alpha product to test it out with over 100 early adopters who joined our wait list. We also signed a contract with construction company in San Francisco Bay Area to run their business on DeepHand platform. We are raising 250K to reach initial traction, like 100K in GMV and complete 2,000 home remodeling and repair projects. My name is Elshad. I'm co-founder at DeepHand that makes it easy to get any local service as ordering food. Thank you for listening. Happy to answer any question.
Anybody have any questions? Meet people in the chat then so we can move on. And I appreciate you pitching. Justin, you're up next.
Hi, tonight I'm Lalit. Last week I promised that I would translate for you a gentleman who was walking and talking 2 weeks in a row about an invention he had in the energy space. So I contacted him, got a look at some of his materials, and I'm going to give you a very, very quick summary.
Thank you.
Lalit is working in an area of energy generation, and he has a patent in India for free radical catalyzed, essentially cracking of methane. And so he's using a mercury isotope, an activated mercury atom, and he's using a mercury light to activate that atom and use that to catalyze the breaking apart of the methane into a hydrogen and a methyl radical. And that's a chain reaction that then gives greater energy out as you go down the cascade than you would normally get out of simply burning methane. And then he's running it into a steam generator. He apparently has a patent in India for the idea and the design. From what I can see, he's designed a test laboratory but hasn't built it yet. And he's looking for funding to get the land and build the facility. He seems to know what he's doing in terms of the chemistry. That's all I can speak to.
Do you know if he could just build a simple prototype that then can be independent third-party tested before the big lab and all the other expense, or you didn't dive that deep with him?
Well, no, I think that's what he's after, is to just build a lab where he can test his proposed chemistry. So he has a drawing of an apparatus. It probably, you know, I don't think he's going after too big a space, 10,000 square feet or something like that.
And how much was he looking to raise? I don't recall.
I don't know. I couldn't figure that out.
Okay. Wow. You're a hero for going and diving deeper. I'm actually interested. So I am in the energy business, and I'll be announcing soon something big involving building solar panels, maybe one of the largest manufacturing plants in the United States, if all goes well. And we may have a side little fund for doing little experimentations with different forms of energy. So this might be a fit, who knows? So I'd be curious to learn more, but thank you for at least deciphering what he was trying to tell us. I knew there was something there, I just couldn't hear him. You know, it was his accent.
No, he was challenged.
Yeah.
Maybe it was the walking.
Yeah, it was very interesting. Thank you, Justin. That was very cool to hear. Okay. Up next is a name I surely cannot pronounce and won't even give it a try. I'm sorry, because it'll be, you tell us what your name is. I apologize out of the gate. It's Anthamanthiantha, something like that. I go ahead and
I'm just here to confuse you. Don't worry. No, it's Atamanatha, or Atta for short. It's a name that I prefer to use these days. But yeah, I'm here for Volpine Labs Incorporated. I'm the CEO and founder. We are developing a system for basically enabling you to read your genome into your computer, create a model of your entire body from that genome that is a personalized model based on you. It will utilize various external databases and enable you to modify that model as you see fit, and then see what genes would need to be edited to actually make those modifications happen to the real you. then you would be able to string those edits together in a logical order that ensures that there's no damage done in the process of ensuring that those edits are put into place in all of the cells of the body. Before we then are able to create a gene editing vector, you could create that in the same software system to export it using the hardware that we're developing. We call that the geneticizer, that would enable you to write your genes basically using the model that you've created in the computer to make an actual gene editing vector for your real-life body. So that's the technological idea in a nutshell. It's quite a challenging one, but it's not impossible by any stretch. We've been working on it for, in some fashion, the last 14 years, although more seriously in terms of making a business around it, the last sort of 5 or 6 years. I'm looking for around $1 to $3 million, depending on the exact terms that we decide on. We have a business plan, we have a pitch, etc., that I can forward to any investors who are interested. And we're currently working on improving those as well. So if you have any suggestions to improve them, of course, I'll be happy to hear them.
Well, do you have proof yet? Oh, I'm sorry.
Please go ahead.
Do you have proof that it works?
We're working on it, of course. It's going to take a while to get to that point, but I do have plenty of scientific papers stacked up to put into our white papers that we're currently writing up that are explaining how the technology works and how we are backing that with scientific logic and reasoning.
Have you applied for any grant money yet?
We have. We've had a small grant from the Terracell Movement Foundation, who are interested in longevity and mind uploading, which technically our systems are applicable to. It's just a rather sideways thing, but we did indeed make use of that grant. We've also had some initial bootstrap investment from 1 or 2 people in the past. But of course, that was some time ago, and it would be nice to have some money again, of course, to make this actually happen, rather than you know, just set up the computers, which is what most of the money went on last time. It's just getting our systems ready to run the company. So, you know, it takes time, but we're getting there.
Anybody have any questions?
I just want to say that I'd love to talk with you more about it. My email's in the chat. I'm not an investor at this point, but I think we have a lot of overlap in vision.
Yes, I look forward to talking to you.
Anybody else real quick? Okay, we're going to move on. Thank you very much. Camilla, you're up next.
Thank you. Thank you, Mark, again for hosting this space. Hi, everyone. Are you aware that Latin America is the fastest growing e-commerce region in the world? More than 10 million packages are sent every single day. I am the founder and CEO of Milatech, and we are a white label software as a service shipping startup. We help Latin American e-commerces optimize and streamline all their post-checkout processes. Our ultimate mission is helping e-commerces scale by providing reliable logistics and an exceptional customer experience backed by our software. So get ready for the true seamless logistics by being the first ever logistics startup in Latin America to open 24/7 operations where we never stop and make that impossible possible. We currently have 4 warehouses with an average size of 300 meters times 300 meters for our pilot, and we recently acquired our first 7 clients. We have an amazing team of 6, and we are raising $600,000 for our pre-seed through a SAFE, which will be used for hiring key staff, building the product, and funding the warehouse operations. So jump on this opportunity of a $1.2 trillion market on our revenue positive startup. Thank you. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Where are you located?
Now in Miami. The company is originated in the US, but our operations are in Latin America.
All over, or any particular area, region, you know, specific countries, or?
Yeah, so we chose Colombia, well, just because I'm Colombian and I have the possibility to do it there, but we plan to expand after the pilot to Brazil and Mexico, because Colombia, Brazil, and Mexico are actually the first and best, let's say, potencies in e-commerce right now.
Thank you for being a female founder coming to our event. Anybody have any questions?
Thank you.
I have one. Camila, I need to get back to you. I think you sent me some stuff, didn't you?
I probably did.
You did. So I will get back to you. I'm very interested in what you're doing, and I think I have some investors in South America who might be interested. So
Sounds amazing. Thank you so much.
We'll talk about it. But I know all these countries that you're talking about. I know Brazil very well. I know Colombia very well. I'll tell you about it when I'll get you back an email and we'll go from there.
Thank you. That's what we need. Strategic partnerships and strategic advisors.
Yeah, I got strategic partnerships for you.
Awesome.
Thank you so much.
Hey, Camila, this is Dave Culver. I have a friend here in Atlanta. She's from Colombia, and she's a successful entrepreneur, and so is her husband. And so I think they might be very interested in that. We probably have some other investors as well, but reach out to me. I put my information in the chat before, but I'll do it again. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I will reach out.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else? Okay, we're gonna move on. Rod is up next.
Hey, thanks, Mark. My name is Rodney. I'm with Advisors. We're building a platform basically to provide legal and emergency services to anyone, anywhere 24/7 inside America. Right now, most people have anxiety or scared anytime they're involved in traffic incidents, or especially when they're pulled over by police. If you would right now, just sit and imagine taking your next road trip anywhere you go, whether you're flying somewhere, taking a boat somewhere, eventually you're going to have to take a car most times to get to your destination. In Los Angeles and a bunch of other states, a lot of money is made simply off those traffic stops, and those traffic incidents go very badly sometimes. Imagine being able to have a lawyer logged in live with you whenever you're involved in a traffic stop, or being able to contact 911 just by their voice, anytime, anywhere inside your vehicle. What we want to be able to do is be able to provide less anxiety and be able to provide people a solution that can be accessed. So even if you have a lawyer in California, as soon as you cross the state line, you might not have access to the same legal representation. Our vision is to have a platform where you can actually have places like what we just heard, where you can hear the narration app while you're driving, but have an open platform, unlike what GM and Tesla and Ford are seemingly doing, where you have to pay extra money just to get Netflix in your car. What we're actually doing is selling a mobile security system customized for the needs of a lot of people in different cities. Whether you worry about your vehicle being stolen, broken into, or just worried about who's actually driving your vehicle if you decide to loan it out for a rental service, or you actually decide to let Tesla drive your vehicle for you. How do you actually keep the information, log in, and protect yourself? Right now, what we're going after is lawyers and our clientele would, of course, be people who have been involved in traffic accidents or currently facing probation or on probation. What we are currently looking for is building a team of people, investors who actually can introduce us to ex-district attorneys. And my key is someone who can actually set a meeting with Eric Holder. I will give you percentage right now. But what we're looking to do is actually build a platform to make sure people feel safe anywhere they go. I've personally been involved in traffic stops, and I was raised by an officer myself. My grandfather was a state police officer who taught me everything I know about how to respect, deal with the law when you're pulled over, and no matter what, sometimes the incident isn't up to you. But imagine how empowered you would feel if you had a lawyer logged in right when it was happening, not someone to review video, but someone that was there like a witness sitting in your passenger seat. Look forward to being able to talk to anyone in the future. Thank you.
Sounds like a good idea. Anybody have any questions?
How far along are you with this?
Right now, I've only been able to get a relationship with one company who develops GPS systems. So I only have one price as far as actually coming to market with the actual system, but I've built smaller prototypes myself, and I'm still building a team who can actually maybe build a video partner where we can actually do the streaming service and get it started, because once we start dealing with people's data, there's no going back. I can't lose anything. So right now we're still building a viable prototype, but I'm looking for a partner that can help me with options on the people that I'm dealing with for the prototype right now, or the actual final product.
So email me. You'll see my email in the chat, And I'd like to see your deck and what you've got. I also want to recommend to you that you look up SEMA, SEMA. That's
Oh yeah, I plan on being there. I plan on being there.
Oh, you plan on being at SEMA? Good for you.
That's right. Yeah, that's where I want to go and
That's
be
where
actually
you should
get
be.
letters of intent. Yeah, and get
And
letters of
I've been
intent.
there many times, and we can help you kind of organize for SEMA as well. And we do have engineers on our team who've built some pretty incredible products. So all wireless. So it's all, just get a hold of me and send me your deck and so forth, and we'll take it from there.
Thank you.
And SEMA, perfect. That's the perfect place for you to go. Absolutely.
Okay, we're going to have to move on because we have too many speakers that still want to speak, but thank you, Rod. Up next is Alex.
Hi, do you hear me?
That's you.
Yeah, nice. Hey, from New York. I'm in the office. I just sometimes living here because too many work and some sleep. So I'm founder of Volspace. It's a messenger for project management. We're working on semantic AI and metaverse meeting rooms. We solve the problem of miscommunication, and we're building the product that will help you to turn just discussions into real actions. After we're creating a summary after meetings in a threads and in the group chats, and we just transcription your meeting and can select the important parts, and just after that creating summary and help you to creating task in Jira, Trello, or Asana, and just other task management systems. And also we're working on metaverse meeting rooms. It's a good fit for architects, for real estate developers, and for designers and other. Just on real meeting, on online meeting, you can change your type of conversation to VR. And if you have VR headset with your colleagues architects, you can deploy your 3D file and see the architects architects file in VR. And also just on a meeting, if your camera is turned off, your colleagues will see your avatar. And also we producing the meetings. You can select the type of conversation, for example, Agile or Scrum, and we'll get you advices what you need to do next, just for structuring meeting. Our market is $65 billion. We're on the intersection of unified communications and global workplace productivity tools, and also global metaverse industry. And our target is SMB. It's teams from 7 to 60 employees who are using Jira, Trello, or Asana. Right now, we're SaaS, we're B2B SaaS, and we sell cloud storage, enhanced security, more automations, and our semantic AI that creating summary and transcriptions and etc. So our team is 10. We are free developers, front-end developers to backend developers, and advisor from Atlassian. And half of our team is from my ex company. I was a founder, was the system integrator of CRM, ERP, and just BPA tools for B2B clients. We're deploying so many solutions and developed it. And we found there are big opportunity on this market, and that's why I just started to develop this product. And we in the X company we grow from $100. It was the first deal to $2.3 million deals. And I'm ultra distance swimmer. I like just ultra distance player in a business, and also I swimming 18 miles in the first hours, for example, in open water. So right now we are in the market. We're deploying about 3 weeks ago. We have the first teams in our mobile app, and onboarding. We started onboarding 120 sales commitments. We have mobile app for messaging, with calendar, with meetings, and other whatever you want in just internal corporate communications, and also a prototype on VR for mobile app and for VR headset. So yeah, that's it.
Thanks, Alex. Anybody have any questions? Alex, put your information in the chat so people can get to know you. Up next is Dickens.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. Yeah. So actually, I'm the guy from Kenya, the area you were talking about. Yeah, so I present to you a JiraPay, where we are building a decentralized Web3 protocol for cryptocurrency payments. We understand that currently we have over 942 billion crypto market cap in the world, and Africa covers around 53 million users at the moment. So we feel that businesses are being left behind because the more we have more crypto holders, the more these guys would prefer to have maybe their transactions in crypto. So we feel a lot of business are left behind. So this is why we are coming up with the JiraPay to enable businesses and individuals be able to accept crypto payments, mostly stablecoins, because the crypto market is currently highly volatile. So we are a team of four, and we are just getting off from the ground, and we are seeking our first funding round, a pre-seed of 1.5. I shared the details on the chat, so maybe if anyone can feel free to maybe reach out to us. Mark, I also scheduled a call with you. I think maybe it will be tomorrow. So if anyone want to maybe join our journey, I'll invite you to really be part of us. Thank you.
Do you have a deck or information that you can share?
Yeah, exactly.
You do. Okay, so put your information in the chat and maybe some people reach out to dive deeper. Anybody have any quick questions?
Okay, thank you.
We're going to move on. Thank you, though, Dickens, for being maybe our longest distance pitch person tonight. Appreciate that.
Yeah, welcome.
Okay, next up is, I apologize. Please tell us your real name.
Yeah, you almost got it. My name is CDB. I'm here in Boston, Massachusetts, and I'm the co-founder of AgNimble. AgNimble is a B2B procurement platform to supply and source agro-commodities. Today, most of the procurement that we see today for agro-commodities is done offline, and even the tools that are out there are either too expensive, complex to use, and not scalable. We have built a cloud-based software to allow small to mid-sized businesses to source, supply, negotiate, manage trade documents, collaborate, gain access to finance, and gain insight into their logistics, all to simplify their business processes. Our ultimate goal is to help increase food stability by streamlining the supply chain using technology. We are looking to raise $100,000 to complete our MPV and also build a team and for marketing. We're also looking for a strategic partnership. If you have anyone that is in the agriculture space, a producer, an exporter of food, we'll love to talk to them as well. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anybody have any questions? All right. Well, again, put your information in the chat. It's sort of towards the end of the night where we kind of speed it through. So everybody gets just a bit tired and then they can meet you offline or in the chat. Next up is Malili.
Yes, thank you. And so I'm representing a company called Happy Agility, and I'm the founder and the CEO of the company. And quickly to talk about this, do you know 80% of the enterprise data is unstructured, right? So it can be in a text format or it can be in a different sets of data format. The moment we have unstructured data, it's taking a lot of manual effort to analyze the data, and it's not going to generate any insights from the data. So that's where we come into the place. We help the businesses to analyze the data using the artificial intelligence and generate the actionable insights out of the data. So these actionable insights will help you to make a faster decisions, and it will make you the entire centralized data into the single dashboard, and where you don't need to be worried about the siloed between the departments, or maybe all those things can be centralized, and it can make you a quick decisions and help the business to grow. Be it as a customer feedback data, or be it as the employee, any data can be in unstructured format. We come into the place and analyze the data and provide you the actionable insights. That's where we come into the place. Okay. So data with insights, that's the caption for us. So raw data into actionable insights.
And what was the name of the company? I'm sorry, we're
Happy Agility.
Okay.
Company name is Happy Agility.
Okay.
And we
go ahead.
We are looking for the strategic collaborations or partnerships to scale it up, and we are also looking to raise a pre-seed round of say 500K, something like that. We already has built a product and it has been tested, and now we are looking to use this fund for marketing and collaboration partnerships and other things. And we are in the pre-revenue stage with small revenue coming up, but any funding or any strategic partnerships will really help us to scale it from here onwards.
Great. Anybody have any questions?
Hey, Mark, this is Nick. I have a question.
Perfect. Yeah.
Mali, what is your advantage, compared to, for example, ML.NET? I use ML.NET to build models. It's very nicely done, raw data. Quickly, I can build my model and teach and train the model, fairly quickly and easily. They have a user interface embedded in Visual Studio, and it's done nicely, quickly. The model works usually beautifully, like 99% of the time gets the value properly. How are you differentiating from big players on the market?
So we are building our own models to understand, be it as a sentiment or whatever is the key insights from the data. We have built our own models, and which is working accurately. And we be building, continuously enhancing those models and getting more and more outputs.
I understand that, but how do you beat, for example, Microsoft that already has pre-built models for many cases? Same goes for TensorFlow and AWS.
So we are going to be a customized one rather than what they have it. So we will add more customizations on top of that, and we will provide enterprise solutions where you can deploy in your own cloud and own subdomain. So we will provide all those additional features what Microsoft or AWS doesn't give. So we come beyond that.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Anybody else real quick?
I have a quick question, Mark.
Yep.
Are you using TensorFlow to train your models?
We have built some own models, and some of them we are using TensorFlow also to train the models with the raw data. So as we have a limited data, we are using the existing models. As we grow, I think we will continue to scale our models and keep growing from there.
Okay, and you're starting with unstructured data and turning it into structured data? Is that what I hear?
Yes. We are starting with unstructured data as a text and voice files, and converting them into a structured data by generating the insights. So if someone gives us a voice file, we'll do the transcript of the voice file and tell you that this voice file has this much sentiment of the data in terms of positiveness, and here is the top keywords, or here is the key phrases. So we will try to generate as much insights from that, so that you don't need to spend hearing that 1 hour of a voice file or something like that.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to have to move on. You can meet others in the chat. Next up is James. You're on mute, James.
Yes, thank you. James Lupino. I'm a co-founder and director of Risk AI. We're a joint venture company between Modal Technology and Taco Holdings. We are addressing one of the biggest problems in AI, and that is the unsustainable growth of the models and the complexity of the models, the over-parameterization. And in essence, the biggest problem right now, everyone is training these models using the same algorithm called gradient descent. Gradient descent is basically a randomized starting point. You randomize the weights, you run your model, you see the results, you do it again, and it's basically a probabilistic statistical method. We are commercializing a method developed by Nate Hayes at Modal Technology. It's revolutionary. It is the world's only deterministic training method. It guarantees you'll find the global minimum in a single run. And this is very disruptive. We need to develop our own ASIC because computer chips right now, GPUs, CPUs, do not do the math efficiently. We're working with intervals, not single points. And because of that, the rhythmic logic units, the multipliers need to be modified a little bit. So Risk AI, in essence, is a special purpose company. We're raising $35 million to produce the chip and then sell the company in 3 years, what we think will be for multi-billion dollars of profit for Intel, AMD, Google, one of the big companies, to basically take over the AI training market, which is 80% controlled right now by NVIDIA. AMD is trying to compete, Google is with their chips, but none of them will do the math of modal interval arithmetic, which we are employing. So we're looking for that CEO out there that's retired but knows a lot of folks and wants to come join us, bring the $35 million and have 2 or 3 years of fun.
Exactly. I'm a big fan of what James is doing. We even talked earlier today. Does anybody have any
great help, Mark? Thank you.
Does anybody have any questions? Wish James best of luck. He's pitching Intel on Friday, and I hope they come to their senses and see you as the next biggest thing in their business. Really exciting. Okay, up next is Richard, who is going to be our last of this evening. Hello, Richard.
Sounds good. Finally catch up. Yeah. So I hope it's a perfect ending and quick ending. So I'm the founder of Bound Technologies. We are literally building up the Google Maps for the past. So it can help, it's like data, help farmers, help a chemical company to realize the harmful insects and beneficial insects. For example, we are targeting spot lanternfly right now. It's invasive. It already costs economic loss like 300 million per year for Pennsylvania. So we are desire hardware as a tool to create a platform. It working like a sensor. It check the spot lanternfly and kill them inside. We get the real-time data and we build out the map in real time. And we use this data to do the prediction and to see how they go, where are they go. Then we can set up a strategy to prevent these insects spread out. Yeah, that's basically what I'm doing right now. Yeah, and we are currently working with national experts to working on this smart trap, and building up a platform right now.
Anybody have any questions?
Yeah. Are your traps actually available at the moment on the market?
Sorry, say it again. Sorry.
Did you say you're selling traps for these insects?
Yeah, it's a hardware device, but we make it dirt chip, so it's a trap with a lure. So you can apply. It depends on the farmers and depends on user. You can apply like honey. It's pretty easy to get, and you can get all kinds of insects inside. And the device itself, we are using the machine learning to tell whether they are harmful insects. So if they are harmful insects, we kill them. Right. If they are beneficial, we just let it go. Yeah.
Right.
So we use a device to choose whether to control insects instead of buying like a, for example, like a pheromone, this kind of chemical. It's pretty hard to access for the farmers and even for the normal people, hard to access.
How much would it cost per device?
How much would it cost per device? He's asking.
We are planning to do it. It's right now quick prototype, maybe like $50. $50. If go to manufacturing, can down to like 30, around 30, because we actually buy the material on the market, like a mesh, like a plastic, all kind of thing, easy to get on the market. So the only the cost will be higher is like a processor, and the camera itself. So this kind of electronic maybe I mean, it's a supply chain crash right now. I mean, it will be higher, but that's a high cost part, but the rest would make it.
What would you estimate you would actually sell them for to the public?
We actually it's a very good question. So we are at the early stage. We are working with some experts. They are using that as a research tool, but they have a customer that, for example, like spot lenteflies, the biggest user will coming from the vineyard owner, because once the spot lentefly go there, they kill the vineyard, literally. They cannot pass the winter. And it takes 3 years to grow the vineyard again. So it's a huge loss. The vineyard owner aware already in Pennsylvania and New Jersey. So we just want to make sure the rest part, they can just receive, they buy the data, or read the device, so they can access the platform to get a real update, prevent the huge loss happen. Yeah.
The reason I ask is I'm at an apartment building here in New Jersey right now, and basically all summer it has been beset with lanternflies, constantly eating at the landscaping plants, etc. around it. And this is just one tiny place compared to the whole of New Jersey. So I think that such devices are very much needed.
Yeah, it does sound like if you can bring the price down to a consumer-friendly level, this might be a winner, and it needs to be marketed right. And there's a lot you still need to do, but I'd be curious to keep up with your, progress going forward. But we're sort of running out of time tonight, and I'm going to just ask, is there anybody else with a quick question, or should we move on? Because I have one more person who would like to pitch. We're going to move on. Thank you, Richard. Okay, Sanjiv, you're our last person, so nobody else raised their hand. Thank you very much. Let's go.
All right, thank you so much for the opportunity. So before I pitch my my company, just a quick background, just 30 seconds. I used to see when I was a kid, I used to see my dad writing a lot of research papers, and his job, he was a professor, and his job was to educate the teachers how to give education for kids. That was the best way. And he will work with the PhD holders and everybody, researchers, and write papers whole through the night. It was a pain point I saw that is an easier way to have the speech-to-text technology. Things evolved, and now we have the speech-to-text technology. But I worked on the transcription side, like how I can provide a cheaper, affordable, fastest way of transcription, right? So we have and the company is Scribby.com, generated from that idea. Today, Scribby.com has grown, at least revenue last year was $1 million. We have our own speech-to-text AI, which is built a fraction of cost from other big companies. And we have 40,000 transcribers just to make sure that we provide 100% accuracy. Our customers are like bigger universities in the US, like Stanford, MIT, Harvard, big podcasters, production houses like Netflix, AMS production houses, law firms, US military. So pretty good. But then again, we are always bootstrapped, trying to have the product market fit just to make sure that we have the right product, the right cost, and the delivery of the speed should be really, really differentiating factor. Today in the industry, everybody provides the same transcription in 24 to 48 hours. We provide in half a day. I'm here to pitch my product to see that how we can scale it, how we can make it a multi-million-dollar company or billion-dollar company. It's a fragmented market. I'm trying to build everything together, which means that podcasters, YouTubers, movie industry, universities, law firms can have this opportunity to use our services.
Okay, that's very interesting. Anybody have a question? I guess not for the end of the night. Oh, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that today OpenAI released some open source speech to text engine that actually looks extremely interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting because what happens in professional transcription, a small difference, like the 0.05% of, not accurate having the transcripts can create a life and death situation, have bad marketing, bad branding, right? So AI can only do that much with a better quality of audio or video. But when it comes down to multiple speakers, ambience, accent, it's not able to provide that. And that's where the human intelligence in loop is very important.
Makes sense. Well, maybe the next time you pitch, it'll be earlier in the night and we'll be a little bit more fresh with questions. Absolutely. It's getting late for everybody. Thank you, Sanjay, for being here and pitching. I want to thank everybody who stayed to the very end. You are the heroes. You're the rock of the community because you actually hang in there to support everybody. And, it's because of good souls like you that we are going to be able to help elevate some of these startups and make them successful. And I want to thank all of you, whether you're pitching, you're an investor, you're a service provider. Keep coming back this Saturday. If you're in the life science events, please join us for the Saturday event. It's 2 p.m. It's an earlier start time, 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern time. It'll also be casual. Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Thank you, Mark.
It was a great meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great as
Thank
usual.
you. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you,
Thank
Mark.
you, leadership.
Mark, keep smiling.
You guys make me smile. That's why I smile.
It's a great smile.
Good night, everybody.
Jack, can I get you the email ID, your email ID?